What's up, guys? Welcome to the next episode of the End Zone podcast. I'm here with Ben today,
We
and
doing?
yeah, let's get right to it.
So the NBA trade deadline was on Thursday. A lot of moves that we missed since last episode. We
Yeah,
started off with a big one. De'Aaron Fox is now a San Antonio Spur.
yeah. So, you got any first thoughts on that, Ben?
I mean, I'm not surprised he got moved. He said he wanted to go to San Antonio when he was a free agent. Um, but I was surprised of the return because I don't think the Kings really got a ton of players, or like the Spurs didn't give any like crazy players up. They just kind of gave matching salaries and a bunch of first round picks. So as far as that goes, I'm surprised, but I think the trade makes sense, and I don't think the Kings even like are gonna fall off a ton. It's just like the Spurs are gonna get a lot better.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think the Spurs definitely won this trade. The Kings also got a pretty good return, but overall the Bulls definitely lost because they got like they got like Kevin Herter, a bunch of like draft picks. But I think this is really solid for the Spurs because the Spurs right now they're in like I think the 11th seed right now or 10th if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. And I mean if De'Aaron Fox keeps up what he's doing, because I remember I saw that game a few days ago, the Spurs could easily contend for like a play-in spot or like a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So I think that he's really solid and he matches up really well with like Wembanyama and Chris Paul too.
Yeah, it makes sense. And now, like, they didn't have to give up any of their young assets,
Yeah,
and they really have a good core going forward. Um, as far as the Bulls' perspective goes, giving up Levine, they were just trying to get off that salary. They like need to tank. They're nowhere close to winning at this point. They just need to lose as many games as possible and maybe get a high draft pick. So I think it's
yeah,
not even a bad trade for them because they get off salary and they get to get their first back or some protections back this year. I'm not exactly sure. But I think it makes sense for all the teams, even though in hindsight the Bulls didn't get a lot for them.
yeah. And I mean, it makes sense too, because Levine for the past like 3 or 4 years has been wanting to get out of Chicago, like going to like wherever he like, I don't know, like the Warriors or Lakers. So
Yeah,
just going like anywhere out of Chicago is just like what's best for the team and what's best for Zach Levine. So I think the Bulls right now they didn't help them at all, but in the future it definitely will help for like when they get like young talent.
yeah. They just need to bottom out.
Yeah,
The next
exactly.
trade we have is Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. I'm not a huge fan of this as far as the Warriors go. I don't think it makes the team a lot better. And they had to give up a lot of depth and Andrew Wiggins and some other pieces.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
what do you think of this?
You know, everyone knows I'm a Suns fan, but the Warriors are actually my second favorite team. I didn't like the trade either. I think Butler, he hasn't been as good. Like if this trade happened 3 years ago, this would definitely be like an insane trade. I think the Warriors would have been really good, but Butler just hasn't been that good. And then what the Warriors gave up was a lot. Like they gave up Dennis Schroeder, they gave up Kyle Anderson and Andrew Wiggins, who've been like, I mean, they haven't been good, but they've been solid. But I think the Warriors just needed something because like they're in the same positions as the Suns because they're struggling right now, and they just need something like a make a move that'll help hopefully like make them propel forward.
Yeah, it's not even like they need help long term, but it's like, can you make a run this year or next year? And if you do, then it's basically a win for the trade.
Yeah, and I mean in the future, I mean the Warriors have no future. Draymond, Butler, and Steph, they're all gonna retire really soon.
Yeah,
They don't have like a lot of future. I mean maybe like Pajemski, but in long term, see, I don't think the Warriors are gonna have a lot of future ahead of them. So I just think they're just trying to go all in right now.
yeah. And from the Heat, they didn't really have any leverage in this trade. Butler just kind of was keeping wanting to ask out and
Yeah.
leave the team. So I think as far as that goes, for how much leverage they had, I think the return is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Your third trade as a Wizard fan, Kyle Kuzma to the Bucks, Chris Middleton is for the to the Wizards. We also got AJ Johnson and a future first or pick swap or something later on. I do like this as a Wizards fan. Kuzma had a bad season. He wasn't really giving us any value. At least Chris Middleton can give us some value in terms of getting off the money sooner, and we can get a young talent in AJ Johnson who already played a couple games for us and has looked good. What do you think
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, I completely agree. The Wizards definitely won this trade. And I think, I mean, Chris Middleton, everyone knows he's washed. Kyle Kuzma's washed. It's just like it's a relevant trade if you really think about it. It's super irrelevant because like no one's a Wizards fan, and then Chris Middleton's irrelevant. But for the Wizards, they definitely won this trade because they're building on the future, and then I don't. I mean, they could care less what they do, honestly. Like no
Yeah,
one cares what they do.
it was kind of just a money trade for us to get off his contract, and we
Yeah.
got. I don't even hate Middleton. I actually think Middleton's probably a better player than Kuzma. So I'm kind of confused from the Bucks' perspective why they would do it, but they do what they want to do, and I'll take it.
Yeah, can we also just talk about how stupid like the ESPN or NBA Instagram is? They made this post of Kuzma, Damian Lillard, and Giannis hyping up to be the big three. It's the stupidest. It's blasphemy. It's so stupid of how dumb they put that. Like people are hyping up Kyle Kuzma like he's Cooper Flag or something. It's so dumb.
Well, you look at it like last year. Kuzma was really good last year, so it's kind of as far as if you made the same graphic last year, everyone would be like, "Yeah, it's a big three."
No, but
Um,
he's not that good to be in like the big three conversation of like the Bucks. Like
well, it's the
even
same as saying
last
like
year.
Bradley Beal's part of the big three. Like he's just getting paid a lot of money and doing the same production as Kuzma.
Wait, but Bradley Beal's actually like pretty. He's better than Kuzma though.
I know, but he's kind of on the same tier
I don't I don't know about same. Okay. I don't know about same tier, but
as far as money goes for
I mean
bang for your buck.
I could just be coping though. I could just be coping.
That's true. Next move we got to talk about. DeAndre Hunter is now a Cleveland Cavalier. The Hawks got Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, and a couple second round picks. I do think this was just a trade for the Hawks to just get off Hunter, get him away. Definitely a win for the Cavaliers. They just give up matching salary and a couple of second
Yeah.
round picks, and all of a sudden they have a really good starting five of Garland, Mitchell, Hunter, Mobley, and Allen. So like really strong there, and I think kind of just helps their postseason push.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Cavs. I mean, they didn't have to make this move, but it definitely helps them a lot in their postseason push. And I feel like the Cavs already have like a lot of they already have a lot of depth. So like what they gave up didn't hurt them that much. So I think the Cavs both sides won this trade. I don't see how any side like lost like majorly. And I just think it's an overall solid trade from both sides.
Yeah, some of the trades the Hawks made were confusing. Like they traded Bogdan Bogdanovic to the Clippers
Oh
for
yeah.
Terrence Mann and Bones Highland, who they already cut, which is weird. And it's weird because like they don't have their first round pick this year. That goes to the Spurs, I think.
Yeah.
So they should be contending this year, but instead they're just kind of like I don't want to say rebuilding, but like Jalen Johnson's out for the year. Right now, your starting five is like Trey Young, Mason Daniels, Karis LeVert. I don't even know who your small forward is. Maybe Mohamed Gueye and Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu. Like that team's not gonna be good. I don't think they make it out of the play-in even. And
Yeah.
with that, the Spurs get their first round pick, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Hawks though. Everyone knows. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but like the how they're always through 5 seasons exactly 500. They're always mid. It's
Yeah,
not a surprise.
I mean, if I was them, I would just tank and just like, if you had your draft picks, it would make sense, but you don't even have your draft picks in 2027, 2029, or something. So like, you can't even tank. You have to contend because you don't have your own draft capital.
The Hawks remind me of like the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're so mid every single year that we can't tank enough to get good people, and we're just praying that we get good draft prospects, and then we just do something in the offseason. That's how bad. That's what the Hawks remind me of.
Exactly.
I feel for Hawks fans. I feel for them.
You also had Brandon Ingram going to the Raptors. I think it's a weird move for the Raptors, but I also kind of like it. It's not really for this year, but you kind of want to re-sign Ingram, and then your starting
Yeah.
lineups looks pretty good with Quickly, Barnes, Barrett, Ingram, and Pirtle. Like that's a legit starting five if you have
He
good bench.
also like Dick. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yep,
forgot about Dick.
good bench piece. Yep.
Yeah. I like Dick.
um, for the Pelicans, they got Bruce Brown and some other guys and a first round pick, so it's not bad for them. And he was never going to re-sign with them in the offseason, so as far as that goes, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Next up, you had the Mark Williams trade to the Lakers. The Lakers get their big men. The Hornets get Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, and a few first round picks. I kind of like this trade for both. I don't know if it filled a need for the Hornets, but as far as like the um, the injury concerns with Mark Williams, I do think it makes sense. You got Yusuf Nurkic in another trade with the Suns, so I can see the trade for both sides.
Yeah, I think this is a good trade from the Lakers because to me, Mark Williams is like a lower, it's like a tier below like Anthony Davis. But I don't like completely how they gave up Dalton Connect. I thought Dalton Connect was a really good player. He could develop really well. Like I thought he was gonna be like the next like Luca in like a few years or so. Like not the next Luca, but like comparable to
Yeah,
Luca.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I don't know how they feel. I don't know how I feel about them giving up Dalton Connect. Like if I was
yeah.
Dalton Connect, I would have a sour taste in my mouth.
Well, I think Dalton Connect is kind of gonna turn into like a Cam Thomas type guy, where like he's on a bad team, but he scores a lot, and
Yeah.
is pretty efficient with it. So like Connect could turn into a really good player and like put up better numbers, but on a worse team. Like I don't think the Lakers are gonna really regret this unless Williams continues his injury concerns.
Yeah. So overall, we can learn from the story is that the Hornets always suck.
That's a great takeaway.
Yes, I think it's a great take. I hope Essie can. I hope Essie's watching this, and he'll
And
know
we
that
were,
the
we
Hornets
were
will always
talking about
suck.
that, but Yusuf Nurkic is now a Charlotte Hornet as well. They got a
Hmm.
center back. I don't even think he's. I mean, he's not as good as Mark Williams. No one's gonna say he is. Um, but I do think he's a fine replacement. The Suns weren't gonna play him. The Suns got Cody Martin
Micic,
and Vasilije
Micic,
Micic, like
Micic.
basically nothing. Um, and the Hornets got their starting center. So, what do you think, as a Suns fan, about this one?
I don't know, man. I thought we were gonna do something big. I thought we were gonna get Butler. I thought we were gonna get like Levine maybe. And I mean, after all like the hype around like the Suns gonna make a big move, we just end up with like a bunch of bench players and a second round pick. I don't know how to feel. I don't really like the trade at all. And most we have to give up a first round pick with Nurkic, which I thought was stupid. I thought that was really
Because the
dumb.
salaries are like that. I do think like it's weird though, because Cody Martin just feels like another Royce O'Neal, like a mid bench player that's just not going to do much for you. I just
Yeah.
don't think it moved the needle at all for them. But I mean, they
Well,
were playing Nurkic, so it basically was just giving them.
I mean, but it definitely helps because like the past week, our starting lineup when Katie and Beal have been injured, I've been like Ryan Dunn and like Royce
Let's
O'Neal.
not diss on Ryan Dunn. Ryan
No,
Dunn's a
no,
good
we can
defensive
no no
player.
no no we can
I know
diss
he doesn't
on
score points, but Ryan Dunn was locking down some
no
plays.
we can diss on Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn is so bad.
He's like 21. We gotta give him like a couple years.
All right, but I just yeah, but when you have Ryan Dunn starting, it's a bad sign, and that means just we don't have a lot of depth. I mean, it helps with the depth part.
Yeah, which you guys
Although we
kind
do,
of need,
yeah, we do have
obviously.
Grayson Allen though.
Grayson Allen though last night,
Grayson Allen's
crazy
my
shot.
Grayson Allen's my George Pickens of the end of the NBA. I loved
That shot
Grayson
was
Allen.
crazy though. I
Hmm.
think the pass doesn't get enough love too.
Yeah,
After
no, that's
everyone
an
had
insane
it,
pass. Like
I mean
That's
he
like
was
an NFL QB
on the
level
money.
pass. I know. What a dot.
Let's move over to the NFL. It's Super Bowl week, but we have some other things to talk about. It's almost the end of the season, so I think it's kind of a good time for reflection.
Hmm.
If that's the right word. But let's tier list every team's season by how impressive or how good compared to expectations they were. Let's start off with the Arizona Cardinals. We have A through F, A plus as well for a couple teams, of course. What do we think here with the Cardinals, Donnie?
I'm gonna give a C or a D. I didn't expect much of them. No one expected much of them. I mean, they and kind of ended up in the same place everyone thought they would. I was kind of surprised though. Mid-season, I thought they were gonna be a playoff team, but they kind of crumbled halfway, like second half of the
Yeah,
season.
they had that good run mid-season, and I thought they
Yeah,
were gonna actually do something, and then they lost the Panthers, and then it
yeah.
kind
I
of all
thought.
fell off from there.
I
So
know.
I like C. I mean, I don't think their expectations were super high to begin with, but like they didn't really do much. Kyler Murray didn't look amazing, but he also didn't look
Yeah.
bad. Like he just looks like a solid quarterback.
No, the one game that changed their whole season was the Seahawks versus Cardinals game. Did you
Mm.
watch that game? Where it was
Yeah.
like super low scoring. The no both teams couldn't do anything. I
Yeah.
just think that both of those teams. Well, I just feel like the Cardinals. They no one expected much of them. Didn't exceed expectations. Didn't go below. I think they're just fine.
Yeah. Kind of similar story with the Falcons, I feel like, but I feel like they do have some like light at the end of the tunnel, if that's the right word. Like they do have
Yeah,
Michael Penix, Bijan looked great, Drake London looked great, Darnell Mooney had a career year, even Kyle Pitts had a pretty decent season. The defense wasn't good, but I'd at least put this in B.
really. I was
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, I get
Uh,
their expectations was win the division, but they still ended up with 9 wins, and I do think Penix is their starting quarterback going forward, so they do have like
That's
that
true.
at least.
Yeah, I like B. I like B a lot. I thought. honestly that they were gonna go like 11-6. But after they lost to the Steelers, the best team, I definitely knew they're not gonna be that good. And Kirk Cousins definitely fell off. Like
Mhm.
he like besides that 500-yard game against the Buccaneers, he just I don't think he was I don't know why people were hyping him up so much. He just I don't even before before this season started when he signed that contract with Atlanta, I thought he was getting overpaid. I don't think I've ever thought that Kirk Cousins like was a really good QB. I
I
just
mean,
never
I'm gonna
considered it.
disagree with that. I actually really like the Kirk Cousins contract. I mean, obviously it didn't turn out, but before the ACL, like Kirk Cousins was like a perennial top 5 or 10 quarterback.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But I
The
mean
ACL
like
just like changed a lot.
yeah, but I mean okay, that's true. But I feel like the amount of money they signed him for, it wasn't
Yeah.
that worth
No,
it.
it was a lot of money. But I mean, the Jaguars signed Trevor Lawrence to more money. And like, is that
Yeah, that's
much
true.
better?
That's true. That's true. But like now the Falcons are screwed because Kirk Cousins on like a 4-year contract or something.
Yeah, good backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's it was
I
so
guess
much
you're not
money.
paying Penix a lot of money, so like combined with it, it's basically like you're paying Penix like $50 million a year.
Yeah,
Could be
but
worse.
yeah, hopefully Michael Penix or yeah, hopefully he does really good.
Mhm.
I just hope that Penis does really good.
Yep. Next up, you got the Ravens. Made it to the divisional series, lost to the Bills. Um, I don't know
A.
if it's a great season, but I would put this in A at least.
Yeah,
Like
I put
they
A.
they had who I should have thought was the MVP. We'll talk about that later. Um, but they played well. The defense got progressively better, and
Yeah.
Mark Williams catches a ball, and they could be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think honestly the Ravens are turning like the past 5 years, they're turning into the new Cowboys.
Mm,
Like they've been a really good regular season team, and then when it comes to playoff, they choke. They like
yeah,
choke like crazy. And everyone's been saying they're gonna be like Super Bowl contenders. Of course, I didn't think so.
mhm.
But I think it's, I don't, I want to put them A,
Top of B,
top of
or
B. I like top of B because the regular season with like Derrick Henry was really good, but once they came into the playoffs, they were terrible.
yeah.
Like they barely used Derrick Henry, but and then they just didn't look like the same team.
And then you got the Bills up next. I think this is our first A.
Yeah, I mean, I would maybe put this even like maybe later, like low A plus, because everyone thought that Josh Allen was screwed because he didn't have Stephon Diggs anymore. He had like only like Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman beginning of the season. No one expected much of like what the Bills turned into. So I think like honestly, I'd give him a low A plus or even like or high A.
I mean, if you make the Super Bowl, I think you can argue A plus. But I mean, at this point, they didn't beat the Chiefs, which is kind of what would have made it A plus. So
Well,
I would put
they
it
beat the
in.
Chiefs once.
They did, but I mean, it's not the one that matters.
Yeah, that's true. Panthers. Okay.
Panthers, I would argue B for them because I do think they found their quarterback, and over the last 5 weeks, like it was really good. First 10 weeks, it's an F because
Yeah,
Bryce
no, I
Young
would agree.
looked
I
awful. Andy
completely
Dalton looked
agree.
bad, but
Yeah, I completely agree. I put like B, even like maybe like high C, maybe. But I think B works. And I mean, Bryce Young, I'm so glad he turned around his career. And the only person you can think is Andy Dalton because he got in that car crash.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
if I were Bryce Young, I would think Andy Dalton that he got in a car crash.
Yeah. You
I
got the Bears. How low are we gonna go with this? Because I know the expectations were high. I was never like really super high on them because I didn't think that team was like super well rounded.
I'm
But I
okay.
would go F.
I would go D because the defense was good.
Mhm.
But but you can't blame him when your offensive line is so bad. Like you
Yeah,
can't blame them that much. But also it's also kind of sucks because they had so many weapons like DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. I mean, you could argue maybe DeAndre Swift, but they didn't do a lot with it.
yeah. I mean, it all comes down to the offensive line. If it was good, then they would be a pretty good team. But
Yeah.
without it, they're not a
Well,
good
and
team.
also the coaching because like Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron, their
Mhm.
coaching was really bad. I remember that Thanksgiving game against the Lions where they didn't even use a timeout, which was
Yeah,
stupid. So yeah, I
Hail
think D.
Mary.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not even Caleb Williams' fault. Caleb
Yeah,
Williams, he did everything he could, and I think that he's going to be a good quarterback if he gets the right coaching with Ben Johnson, and if he gets like the like right offensive line.
yeah. You got the Bengals. It's weird because like the offense itself is an A, but the defense was
Yeah,
F.
yeah,
I think
exactly.
compared to expectations, it's kind of a D. Because like they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, I
People were
know.
picking them to win the Super Bowl. Like at that point, you have to.
No, I would even argue F too. I would
Yeah,
put maybe F because everyone thought they were going to be really, really good because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they played insane, but the defense just struggled. Like they were terrible.
yeah. You can't even put any blame on the Bengals. Like it's not even their fault, or not. Sorry, on the Bengals offense, because
Yeah.
like they can't even do that much more. But if you have a competent defense, then all of a sudden you're a good team.
Yeah. It's like when I saw the Bengals this year, it just reminded me of like LeBron against except LeBron was playing the Warriors dynasty team every single week. Like
Yeah,
LeBron couldn't do like LeBron is like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. He's just like playing like even like he played the Titans. He's just playing like a dynasty team because his defense can't do anything. Like LeBron can do whatever he wants on the Cavaliers. He can do it. Like, he could score 70 points, but the team will find a way to lose.
yeah.
Okay, Browns
I'd argue F as well.
at
I
F.
don't know if there is a single positive on this team.
Yeah, no.
I
I'm not
mean,
even gonna lie. I forgot that the Browns made the playoffs last season.
it's crazy to think that they did with Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I
What a
completely
weird
forgot about.
year.
I forgot about that.
Joe Flacco being good. Wow.
Yeah, and I just think, I mean, besides clip farming from Jameis, season's been terrible. hmm
Yeah, I don't even know if there was a single bright spot. Like all the quarterbacks were bad, even
Besides
Jameis to an
Jameis,
extent. Running backs were awful. Wide receivers were pretty bad. Other than Jerry Jeudy, I guess that's the biggest bright spot was
yeah,
Jeudy.
and then also Miles Garrett, but he's gonna be traded soon.
Yeah, future commander.
No, he's not. Shut
Uh,
up.
you have the Cowboys. I would
F.
argue D on
No
them.
F.
I just
Actually,
like
D. That's
without
true.
Dak's injury, like they would have been a pretty decent team.
No,
Yes.
you were no, were they even they still sucked though, even with Dak, like the first few
Yeah,
weeks.
but I don't even know if their expectations were high because after they signed Zeke and they didn't have a running back.
That's true. Like they just like for Rico Dowdle,
Yeah,
and then they traded for Jonathan Mingo for a fourth round pick or something.
a great trade.
What a great trade.
You have the Broncos. Where do we
A
want to put this?
A because
I think it's
no.
above.
Yeah, I put above Bills because no one expected Bo Nix to be good. I remember like every single person I've talked to talked about how Bo Nix sucks. So he's from Oregon. He's gonna suck, and he like blew everyone away. And I mean, even like his like mentality too. Like you see that clip where he was like yelling back at what's Sean Payton.
Yeah,
Like I think Bo Nix, if Jane Daniels didn't exist, like if Jane Daniels died at LSU, like if he got shot by LSU, I think Bo Nix would have been the rookie of the year. But maybe Brock Bowers, but like Bo Nix and Brock Bowers would have a
mhm,
close rookie of the year race.
yeah. I agree with all that. I mean, other than winning a playoff game, they basically did blew everything out of the water. So yeah, I'd agree with you.
I mean, to be fair, no one expected them to beat the Bills though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. But they did look really bad.
and then Pat Surtain was insane.
Yep.
He was a dog.
You got the Lions. This one's kind of weird because obviously they looked really good in the regular season, and then they lost the Commanders first round. So I would still put this bottom of A, just because I mean they won
Yeah,
15 games.
I
Uh,
agree because everyone expected the Lions to be good, and everyone thought they're gonna be Super Bowl contenders. But the way they choked against the Commanders, it didn't look like the Lions, and it was just weird.
yeah.
I mean, I would even argue put it B also if you want,
Mm.
but we'll get to that. We
I
can
just think a
change it.
team that won 15 games, even if they choke, like you can't put it that far. Because I mean, at the end of the day,
That's
they won
true.
15 games.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay,
You have the
Packers.
Packers.
I got B or C.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like I think people like I know people were expecting them to win like 14 or 15 games.
Yeah,
And obviously they didn't come close to that, but Jordan Love wasn't as good as last year. Josh
yeah,
Jacobs was really good, but yeah, I think I'd put this top of C.
yeah. I'd put top
They
C
obviously still
too.
made the playoffs, but other than that, like they didn't really look great all of the
I
season.
mean, to be fair, they also played the Eagles in the playoffs too, which
Yeah,
it's a hard team to beat.
it's a tough team to
Yeah, right, Ben.
very tough.
Right, Ben.
To get it's a very good team.
Mm-hmm. How many?
Yeah.
Saquon probably has like 500 yards against you guys.
He had like he had like 150 in one game.
Mm-hmm.
He had like 160 and then he had 130. So what would that been
Mm-hmm.
like 450 in 3 games?
Yeah, but like probably like more because if you go all scrimmage yards, then definitely
Oh, yeah, that is
500.
stupid.
Yeah, we should
You
get
got the
that.
Texans.
We should get the
I'd put
way.
this top of D. I get they made the playoffs, but like they really never looked good.
Yeah. No, okay, maybe no, high D.
Okay.
High D or low C because the playoff win versus the Chargers was lucky because Justin Herbert was so bad. But
Like
CJ Stroud was atrociously bad. Like he had like a fall off rookie of the like sophomore year. Everyone thought he was going to be like a top 5 quarterback in the AFC and he just didn't look good at all. I
yeah,
mean, besides like that game against the Bills in like was that week 3 or week 4, he was really bad. Like
yeah.
they even like they almost like lost to the Titans. They almost lost to the Jaguars. It's just it doesn't look good for CJ Stroud.
Yeah, the defense has played really well all throughout the season, but other than that, like the offense never looked good.
Yeah.
And they really just beat up on bad teams.
And then CJ Stroud also had like an insane like he had a lot of weapons. He had Joe Mixon, he had Tank Dell, Nico Collins, John Mechie, Stephon Diggs. He had a lot of weapons and I don't think he utilized them well enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
You have the Indianapolis Colts, kind of a similar story. Like people had like medium expectation, but they want to see Anthony Richardson do something. Defense was awful. Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson never was really that good. I put this just below the Texans.
I agree with that. I mean, I thought Anthony Richardson was good. After week 3, I thought he was going to be really good.
And
Okay,
then kind of after that, not much.
Jaguars. Yeah, I put like well, actually no, I put
F. F.
F because I thought they were gonna be like a almost playoff contention team, but they just looked awful. Trevor Lawrence didn't look that good. I mean, the team just didn't look good overall.
Yeah. The
Chiefs,
Chiefs is kind of my first A plus.
yeah, I hate to put it there,
I
but yeah,
mean,
A
you don't
plus.
want to do it, but like you kind of have to.
Yeah, and it's impressive because they have no weapons either. Like
Yeah. I mean, it's
Patrick,
not the talent on the team's still really good, but it's
yeah,
not 15-2 Super Bowl bound that good.
I know. And Pacheco wasn't even that good either, and Kareem Hunt was like average this
Hmm.
year, and they still like did really well.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could also just put like the referees up there too. But yeah,
Yeah. They come hand in hand.
yeah, they come hand in hand. Like if the Chiefs didn't have the referees, the Chiefs would maybe be like C or D.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Raiders here. It's weird because like I don't know how high their expectations were, and they probably still went below that. But with that being said, like Bowers looked really good. I still put this in C.
Yeah, I put C too, because Bowers had like an insane rookie year. I mean, no one expected much from Minshew. No one expected much from Aiden O'Connell. And overall, everyone else was like the talent was really bad after they traded Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Like they just didn't have much to work.
Yeah, and the defense was terrible besides Max Crosby.
And Trevon Marine.
Yeah, like
Marine.
what was his name? They signed over to Wilkins. I don't even
Oh
think he. Yeah,
yeah.
he didn't do
Well,
that good this
he
year.
played 4 games, so I
Yeah,
don't know if you can
exactly.
really.
Yeah, and then also just like they didn't they let everyone go because they let Josh Jacobs go, so they had to settle with like Madison and
And Sincere McCormick.
Zamir White.
Whoa. Future RB1.
Yeah, but Jason Powers John or no
Jackson. Yeah, yeah.
Jackson Powers Johnson. He was solid though.
Yep. They did have
Hmm.
some good pieces.
Yeah, they have good
The
future.
Chargers, I'd also put A.
I put A.
Um, I think they looked really good this season. Herbert had a good season. The defense played really well in the first
Yeah.
half. Nothing really to be mad of other than the postseason.
Yeah, after okay. Besides, I thought the Chargers were gonna be ass because they didn't have any talent
Hmm.
besides Lad McConkey. But I didn't think Lad McConkey would be that good. But because after the Steelers beat the Chargers in I think week
Two.
3,
Two of them, yeah.
yeah, 2. I thought the Chargers were like terrible because I watched that game and the Chargers didn't look that good, but they surprised me definitely. Especially heck, second half of the season, they surprised me.
Hmm. You had the Rams. I
I
would put
put
this B.
high B though. I put high
Yeah.
B
Yeah, I
because
agree.
they got a lot of good talent. Braden Fisk, Jared Verse,
Hmm.
and they also I didn't expect. Well, I mean, the offense was like it was expected to do that well, but the defense really stepped up with all
Yeah.
that young talent they got.
Yeah, and the defense is like the cheapest in the league, and they're still like a
Yeah,
top 10 unit,
I know.
which I think is really impressive.
I know. Like they put up a good fight against the Eagles,
Yeah, and they
and that's
obviously locked
impressive.
down the Vikings.
Exactly.
You got the Dolphins. I put it bottom of D.
Yeah.
I think without injuries, you think of it better, but like you gotta take that into consideration. And obviously, even with the injuries, they weren't amazing by
Yeah.
any
I mean,
stretch.
the only person who was good on that team was Devon A. Chain. But
Hmm.
other than that, Tyreek sucked, Waddle sucked, Tua sucked.
Move
Everyone sucked.
Washington.
Yep. But
Vikings is kind of the same. Not the same. Sorry, that's not fair. I would put it A. I mean, it's weird because they looked awful in the last 3 weeks of the season. But with that
yeah,
being said, they won 14-3 when everyone thought they were going to be a bottom feeder.
yeah. I mean, 14-3 is impressive, but I mean, I feel like you have to take into consideration too that Sam Darnold had Justin Jefferson and like Jordan Addison, which are
Yeah.
both Pro Bowl wide receivers. And I just feel like if you put any QB in that situation, they're gonna do like somewhat pretty well. I mean, yeah, 14-3 is impressive, which I think A is fine, but I think
The defense was also like incredible. Like
yeah,
Brian
no, that's
Flores led
true.
that unit really
That's
well.
true. Like they were so good that they thought of celebrations to do a week before they got an interception
Exactly.
because they were that confident.
Next up, you
Patriots
got the Patriots. I would put the
F.
C. F.
I would put F.
I don't know what were their expectations though. Like they had a rookie quarterback, no
No,
talent.
because everyone's expectations was that Jacoby Brissett was going to be starting the whole year, and that Drake May would just be like be mentored. And I just thought that their goal wasn't met at all. And then, I mean, I thought that they were going to be. Actually, no, no one thought they were going to be good. Actually, yeah, put it C or D. Ignore what I said.
Yeah, I mean the defense wasn't good, but that being said, they have a good quarterback, Drake May. They have a lot of cap space. Like they do have things going forward that's good, but the play this year is not good.
Yeah. Okay, Saints.
Saints F.
I mean, okay, but to be fair, no one expected Derek Carr to get injured.
Mhm.
And I mean, overall, I think the team didn't. I mean, no one expected them to be really good, except after week two. But other than that, the team didn't have a lot of expectations coming into the season.
Yeah, I think D's fair actually.
D is fair. I think D is fair. I
You got
mean,
the Giants.
yeah, Giants,
Kind of D as well. I don't think I could put them in
really.
F.
I'm putting F. I think F.
Okay.
I mean, okay, wait. Make your claim for D, then I'll see if I
I'm
want to
good with
change it.
F. I was kind of low D, high F, just because like their quarterback play was awful, but also like what were the expectations with Daniel Jones and Drew Lock? Like
Well,
they
okay, no,
can't
no.
really
The
do.
thing is, though, people thought Daniel Jones was going to be good because he got Malik Neighbors, and he
That's
finally
fair.
got a weapon. So I
I
feel like
mean,
the
and Malik
expectations,
Neighbors had a great year, but
yeah, but the expectations were a bit higher than like usual for the
that's fair.
Giants. Jets, F. No, it's
F,
not. Don't even
bottom of
debate.
F.
Don't even debate about it. I mean,
I don't know.
you.
I never understood the Jets hype at the start of the season.
No, I
I
never
was always
understood that
like, this is a
too.
7-win team. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is good. They don't have a good O line. The
No, I
defense isn't even
completely
that good.
agree.
Like I was confused all throughout the season why people were hyping them up.
No, I completely agree with that. Like everyone thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be good. I always thought he was washed, even in his last season with Green Bay. Well, Devontae Adams is still good, but I didn't think he'd be that good that you had to trade that much for him midway through the season. And then I've never thought Sauce Gardner was that good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a highlight of Sauce Gardner besides his rookie year.
hmm
And
That's
then
fair.
Brees Hall, I don't know why people hype him up so much. I feel like he's overrated.
Yeah, that's fair. He was really good last year, but I mean that was
Yeah,
kind of with no quarterback, so
yeah,
that's different.
exactly. Yeah,
Eagles A plus. I mean they made the Super Bowl. You
yeah.
can't really ask for anything
And then
else.
Saquon, because Saquon just like he like absolutely like smacked the Commanders twice.
He did 3 times basically.
Yeah, three times. Mm-hmm.
Steelers.
A.
No, you're
No,
not
we're
putting this
putting
in.
A. We're putting A. You wanna know
If
why?
we're
No,
going
no, no.
first 10 games,
Okay, if we we're going A, only because everyone thought the Steelers were gonna finish bottom of their division. They thought that Russ was washed, and they thought that Fields didn't have what it takes to in the first like 6 games of the season. So I hate you. We're not
no,
put,
no, no.
we are not putting. Okay, maybe okay. Well, I'll be realistic. We'll put B. We'll put B. If
Okay,
I'm being
that's fair.
realistic, we'll put B because no one. Okay, everyone thought we were gonna be mid, but I knew deep down that we were gonna find a way to get over 500.
And you still weren't good.
Okay, we
You won like 10 games, and then fell.
yeah, but then George Pickens did pretty good.
He was injured though.
Well, okay, if he didn't
49ers.
get injured, he would have had a 1,400 yard season.
I mean,
He would
I
have because he would have had
guess.
100 game. He would have had 100 yards every single game after that.
Yeah, you're right. Of
Hmm.
course.
Of course. 49ers
49ers F.
F. F.
F.
Well, actually, yeah. Well, D. D. I
No,
put D.
you
No,
can't.
no. No, no. The only reason why I put D is because of the injuries.
Injuries.
Without the injuries, they would not have been that bad.
Yeah, but you kind of have to take that into consideration, and you got to plan for that at some point. And their backups were awful.
besides Jordan Mason.
No, even Jordan Mason.
Where
Isaac
did?
Grando was like the only good player.
Yeah, that's true. And then yeah, everyone
Seahawks.
thought they were gonna be Super Bowl contenders too.
Hmm.
I think they were like had the worst record coming back from a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Seahawks D
C.
C. I like C because I mean they had a new head coach. No one really knew what to expect from them. I mean you have Geno Smith again. I mean if I were a Seahawks fan, I would hate myself. Like
That
imagine
would
having
suck.
Geno Smith for 3 years in a row. That would suck.
There's like no hope.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
would.
being a Steelers fan.
It's not that bad. It's not really. It's not that extreme.
Not
But
that
I mean,
bad.
that just sucks. Like having. Imagine having. Okay, what's worse, um, having washed up Russell Wilson.
Or
But you.
washed up
But no,
Geno
no, no,
Smith.
no. But you have Justin Fields as your backup, so there's still some
Mm.
hope. Or you
But they have
have
Sam Howell. They have Sam
no,
Howell.
no.
You
Or
gotta
you have
forget about
Geno
that.
Smith, who's only had one good season for the Seahawks, and you have Sam Howell, who threw an interception in like 3 snaps he had with the
He was
Seahawks.
pretty good.
No, he had
I
an
don't know. I ever hate him.
interception. Okay.
You got the Buccaneers. I put A. I think.
Yeah, I put A.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, Baker
Self-explanatory.
Mayfield had a career year without a lot of Godwin in it, so
Yeah.
can't be mad.
Titans F.
Titans F.
Yep.
Not much to talk about there.
Yep. Commanders A. High A.
No, this is
No, do not put A
we were
plus. We're putting
projected to be the
high
worst
A.
team in the
We are
league.
putting high A. We're not putting A plus. If I can be humble and put B, then you can be humble and put A.
Okay,
Okay.
but you got to think about this. Like we were basically the Broncos' expectations, but we went to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, but you also let Saquon Barkley get 500
We went
yards.
as far as the Bills.
You let George Pickens get a highlight catch over you guys. You let Mike
We
Williams,
also
who's
had a Hail
never
Mary.
you. Okay, that was just luck because Tyreek Stevenson's a
Whoa,
dummy.
whoa.
But but if you let Mike Williams, who just got traded to the Steelers, didn't know the route, all he was told is just to go straight and scored a game winning touchdown. That's how bad
It's
your
Benjamin
defense
St.
was.
Just. He's not even part of the team.
I know. But I like this tier list. This is a
Yeah,
solid tier list.
good tier list. Let's talk real quick about the NFL awards. Obviously, the MVP was kind of the big part, but I can't really say anything much. Like, I mean, Lamar should have won. Can't really be that mad though.
No, I think Saquon should have won.
I still
Like
don't
the
understand. Like,
no
it's just a
the
quarterback award at this point.
no,
That's the
exactly.
only
No, that's what I'm saying. The definition of MVP is most valuable player. If
Jaden Daniels.
no, shut up. No. If Saquon Barkley was never on the Eagles, they would have lost to the Commanders in the NFC Championship.
Okay, but the Commanders without Jaden Daniels, we would have won like 3 games.
No, no,
You
that's
know,
not true. You give
Chiefs
Bo
without
Nix.
Mahomes, they would have been nothing. Because then they wouldn't have the refs. Like, you got to think about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's fair. But Saquon Barkley, you have to admit, was insane.
Yeah, yeah. He's a great player.
Yeah, I'm happy he at least won an award.
Hmm. Super Bowl prediction time.
Oh wait. One more quick thing. I think Dan
Oh,
Quinn also got robbed of Coach of the Year. That's my last thing.
who?
Dan Quinn got robbed. All right.
If I do agree, but I can't really be that mad because like they vote on the award before the postseason. Like I do think he
Oh,
would have
that's
been the
true.
coach of the year, but like I mean I can't. I don't know. I can't
Okay.
argue that much because if he, without the
Yeah.
postseason he doesn't deserve or
Yeah.
whatever.
All right. Super Bowl.
Super Bowl predictions. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I think Eagles. Every single person in the United States of America, in the US of A, wants the Eagles to win, except for Kansas. And I think that the Chiefs will find a way to win. I know deep down, I know for a fact, 100% the Chiefs will win. I know, like okay, I'll put
Don't
like I
put
feel
money on it.
I'm not gonna put money on it, but if I could put money on it, I would, and I would say the Chiefs are gonna win, and they're gonna 100% win. Like the Eagles are good. They're just another victim. They're another victim of the Super Bowl losing streak. Like the 49ers, because the 49ers suck.
I really thought you were gonna go Eagles there, and I was gonna
Nope.
zag.
Nope.
As a Commanders fan, I can't root for the Eagles. That's our rivals. I'd much rather see the Chiefs win. I think the Chiefs are the better team. I think they have more experience. And I think I have the Chiefs winning 24-19 um, on a go ahead touchdown drive with 2 minutes left by Mahomes. Kelsey touchdown? See, that'd be sick.
No, okay. Okay, I hate the Eagles too because they're also another Pennsylvania team. Yeah. It's just I hate
That's not
Penn.
even a rivalry. You guys are not rivals with them.
No, it is.
That's like
It
us with the
is.
Ravens. Like we don't really like them, but like we aren't rivals.
Well, yeah, yeah. Like I don't hate them, but I don't like them either.
That's fair.
But I don't know. I don't know why you want the Chiefs to win. I don't want to
I don't
freaky.
want
I
either team
don't.
to win, but
No,
like
I don't want either team to win
it's like
either.
you rooting for the Ravens. Like
Yeah, if the Ravens and it's like if the Ravens when the Ravens and Chiefs went against each other week
who
one,
would you want to win?
I was rooting for the Chiefs.
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
it's the same
But
thing.
my score prediction, I think it's going to be 26-25. I think the Chiefs, no, I think the Eagles are going to they're going to drive down the field. They're going to get to the 49-yard line on the
And they're gonna
Chiefs
run
side.
into a ref.
No, no, no. Let me let me finish. It's third and long. It's like third and 12. 54 seconds. No, 34 seconds left on the clock. Third and 12. Jalen Hurts gets back into the pocket, throws it a corner route to AJ Brown. AJ Brown is held by three defenders. Three defenders holding him by his jersey, getting his face mask, putting his head 180 degrees, and it's gonna be incomplete pass. And then the Chiefs will win.
Yeah, that's that could
No,
happen.
that's pretty realistic. I don't know. It's pretty realistic.
So well, that'll wrap up this week's episode of End Zone. Next week, 2024 NFL season will be done. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
basketball, a lot of football, or not a lot of football, a lot of baseball, hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Who
No, we're not
knows?
talking about hockey. We're never talking about
Who
hockey. Hockey's an
knows?
irrelevant sport. Hockey is an irrelevant sport. No
I
one
don't think I
watches
can name
it.
more than five players. So
I
you
can't
know
name more than three.
that'll end there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. For me and Donnie,
Hmm. And
thank you
also,
for
if we
watching.
get to 1,000 followers, me and Ben will run a marathon in the kitchen. So you
So
better make that happen.
don't. So please follow on Instagram to make that
Hmm.
happen.
We'll record it too, so you know it's not fake.
Of course,
Hmm.
we would never lie.
Yeah, we never lie.
Peace
Bye,
out.
guys.